Right, here is the last method for the mug rug to bind it. I have quilted it and trimmed it out. So this is 6.5 to the edges of the things. And yeah, I was a little off in the quilting. It was a little wonky, or the squares were wonky. And then the outer edge is 1 inch away from the raw edge of this. And like the other method, we're going to first go around, and all this does is just put a very nice sharp crease on that edge. Oh, right. Now, the other method is we crease again and we fold in the corners. This one, actually, I'm just going to pre-trim the corner. And we're going to, that's folded over. We're going to just, and I'm right at the body now. I'm not right at this corner just yet, because that's folded down. We are going to fold that. So I'm folding this corner down this way so it's aligned against here. Let me pin that. It's a great thing about using this mat. So I can pin all the pieces. So it's just folded here, and this fold here is continuing, and so is this fold here, straight up and down. Then we tuck back down this one. So I took out a larger corner, and I'll show you. So this is folded over onto the mat, and I fold down this corner. This is, right now, this is out. It's not folded just yet. It does not have its first fold just yet. It's still out. So I've angled that one. Then I'm going to fold it down and fold it. And this is where you get to finagle your miter. And that way you should see a very slight, you should see a miter if my pen wasn't in the way. Right. Then you would press again. Now I have unfolded the top one, so it's not, does not have its first fold. Press that in. And I'm going to unfold it and clip out, kind of fold to fold, to remove that extra bulk. Okay, so that's now straight. So let's keep this one in. Let's take this one out. Okay, so there's the first one. In fact, let me then I've folded, so it's that angled corner. And I fold down the first fold of our. So you're going to have like a little triangle that you can see there. Then, so this is already folded. Then we just fold the front one down on its second fold. And I will across this corner and down the side. Unfold and trim off that corner. Press that in so we've got that nice sharp corner. Fold down. And it still has bulk. When you have those creases, you know exactly where to fold. So they aren't just pretty decorations and making sure everything's sharp. They serve a purpose. So all my corners now have a miter going the right direction. Now it's time to sew. And I like doing it that way. I like going counterclockwise because when you sew, you're going to sew clockwise. And you are going to sew down this and end at that corner. If you were sewing the opposite direction, so if you did these clockwise, when you came to your corner here, you would have to go up onto this and catch it with your foot. Your feet will naturally squish things into the one direction. So this is being smart about it and making it easier to align your corners. So what I'm doing is I pull it out I pull out this pin when my needle's like in the middle here so that I can readjust so it comes to that perfect corner. Because it might not always. One more. There we go. And by far, I think this is the easiest method to do. And when you sew, you just keep learning. In fact, this method, I recently just learned. And it's like, oh, that is so easy to do. Because the other one, you did have to kind of mess with it to make sure that your corners came out correctly. But this is just a simple fold, and the other one you just still had to stitch, whether it was by your, stitch closed, whether it was by your machine or by hand. All right, let's pull it out. Get my ties to the back. Clean up. And there we go. That's very nice, even, very nice square. But for quilting, all I really did was I did the 4 patch and I did the long ones, and then I went from corner to corner. So I've got a little chevron right in the middle there. These aren't quilted at all. The rest of that's not quilted. It's only just during that. Now, I could have gone that way, but I found that out with my diamond is if I went corner to corner, it would be way over here. I will get this done and posted. So for a beginner, this is perfect. And just extrapolate this out. If you had a quilt that you had a larger backing in, and you made sure you did not quilt all the way to the edges. See, my centers, my quilting is not all the way to the edge. I was able to turn it under, trim it, trimmed this backing to 1 inch larger. And you can do larger than that. You just need to make sure it's even on all sides. Whatever you do, it's got to be even. 1/4 of an inch is perfect for that. And then do that all the way around. I would press very well you might actually want to press with starch. This backing I had used for something else, and I starched it. So it was perfect for this. It didn't have that wobbly that an unstarched piece of fabric does. You could use Insulbrite in it and use it as a trivet, a hot plate. You could even use these as make them a little like a rectangle and use them as a hot pad to get things out of the oven. If you did that, I would put like little loops on the insides for your hands and your finger and your thumb to sit in. But there you go. There is so many uses that you can do with this. If you want, you could get a sublimated square, lots of sublimated squares, because I do a page, and this is a 2-inch with a 1.5-inch center. So you could get a whole page of a center of a 1.5-inch that says Merry Christmas or from the Johnson family, and sew that onto each one of your mug rugs. Have a Christmas fabric with it, Hanukkah fabric, anything like that. And that could be a personal hostess gift. It could be a personal Christmas gift, something that the kids could make for their aunts and uncles and cousins and stuff like that. I use this everywhere, and I use a bigger one under my laptop to help keep it from moving around. And this ends the mug rug series for beginners. It's your little quilted mug rug.